going to just explain, talk about my feelings about death grips, because I think people aren't putting enough thought, at the same time putting too much thought into what they're doing as a group. Okay, so recently they did an interview for Pitchfork, I think, and Stefan MC Wright said that he's recently stopped writing about other human occurrences and started writing about internal struggle, and that all of their musical content is based on gut feelings. So I think that any Death Grips fan, which is odd, like kind of an odd way to think about it, but I don't think any fan of Death Grips will ever actually be able to feel the way that it's intended, or that they're intending people to feel about their music. Because if you enjoy it, then you're not getting the feeling of the paranoia and the self-hatred and the fear. You're enjoying the music, which is not what's meant to be happening at all. You're meant to be feeling paranoid and loathing yourself, and it's almost like contradictory. I think almost someone who has never heard Death Grips not necessarily already has a preconceived negative opinion of them, but someone who's never heard them and say here's Come Up and Get Me, which everyone is saying is the song that puts the whole group in perspective in one song, which I agree, because it's got the fear, the paranoia. You can read it in the lyrics, but the feeling, you don't get it if you enjoy it. I think someone that is open-minded about music listens to that for the first time, not knowing at all who they are, the imagery, anything like that, they will get. They will feel it properly the way you're meant to feel about that song. Whereas everyone's looking into their music, looking into their lyrics too deeply. When MC Rides, whatever, is on stage, he said that he's in a state. And I think that when you listen to it, you have to almost be in a state as well, because if you're not, it is contrived. You're either thinking, I'm listening to this because it's cool, yeah, because I enjoy it, because I like Death Grips, but you know yourself, your opinion of it, and your opinion is going to ruin the listening experience because you're preconceived. So I think that really the only way to listen to Death Grips is if you're just completely out of your fucking mind. And which is why I think a lot of people with, I'm just gonna sound, no it's not, a lot of people with mental health problems, etc., love Death Grips because they relate to it heavily. The first time you listen to Ex-Military, no doubt you weren't reading the lyrics, but the feeling that you got from it, this angst, this anxiety, fucking it's like an anxiety attack encapsulated in 20 minutes, half an hour, however long the album is, like EP, mixtape, whatever, however long it is, throughout is just this oral attack that you just feel. Now that I have an opinion, I can look at the music, listen to it, but I'm not getting the same feeling that I did the first time I listened to each album. The first time I listened to each through, I got this intense feeling. But then once I read the lyrics and looked into it and watched reviews, I lost that feeling. So I think that you only ever get that Death Grips experience once, and which I think is why seeing them live is such an important part of being interested in them, because without that you have to wait until they release a new project and you get that feeling for another 20 minutes, half an hour, however long, an hour, whatever, and then you lose it after you, because you're not in the state anymore. You can't be in that state unless you're completely high on drugs or haven't taken your medication or something. And people are hyping up too much about them. I think the thing is, we all feel what Death Grips is. We all subconsciously get everything that is being said, but it's on such a stripped down level. The lyrics are so stripped down to the bare minimum of human explanation of things that it's almost describing feelings, and people are horrible at describing feelings. So people say, oh, the lyrics are really intricate, and that's not true at all. They're not intricate at all. They're the most stripped down lyrics I've ever seen in my life. But because he's in a state when he's writing and becomes this character, it's like a true human. He's not even a persona. He's just everyone and no one at the same time. And the music, beats encapsulate. I think the beats, an example of it would be, say, the human brain is a giant fucking computer, and computers beep and buzz when different things happen, and their beats are almost akin to that, in the sense of when there's, say, having an anxiety attack, everything is kind of extremely fast and loud and noisy and close and scary. And then when you're angry, you're having a rage fit, everything is kind of slow and heavy, and like that's the feeling you get off tracks like No Love. That kind of beat down. And I think that they're the only music group that have ever been able to show you this is this emotion, this is this mindset that you felt, and we know that you felt it in your life, but you're going to overanalyze it. And I think that's why they don't do many interviews either, or, well, Stefan doesn't do many interviews because he doesn't bother explaining it, because it'll sound contrived. And so he's just explained gut feelings. That's what it is. So I think everyone needs to stop going on and on and on about how intricate and how different this band is. I think they're not different. They're just the first band that's been completely fucking honest with themselves and being completely fucking honest about everything that's going on in the world inside themselves. They're not trying to impress anyone. The dick on the cover of No Love Deep Web isn't, hey, we're going to be offensive. It's, this is me. Like, it's like a symbol of strength, of being completely open about yourself. It's not some fucking little snarky, immature, I'm gonna put my dick on the cover. People are getting a really stupid idea about death grips, that they're just some new age kind of punk thing that's like, fuck the record companies. Or no, it's not that. They do what they feel and they're honest. And so that's why I think Death Grips is the best musical, not even just about music wise, the only true form. It's like a human in a music group. It's like a life in through song, but the raw human. Now, I don't think anyone that watches this, even if anyone does watch this, will understand what I'm saying. But if you do, well, that's good, because I think I'm not being pretentious or anything. That's exactly what I'm trying to get. The point of it, they're not pretentious at all. I'm not fucking pretentious at all. That's what I'm saying. It's the most unpretentious thing that has been around in existence in the music world in a long, long time. I mean, like, since like 30s and 20s blues. It's just raw energy and feeling. I think anyone that doesn't like Death Grips is lying to themselves. I think anyone that doesn't like Death Grips is afraid of their emotions. So I think everyone should go and listen to Ex-Military, The Money Store, and No Love Deep Web, and then reassess your mental state.